decisions intentional, to take decisions intentional, making decisions intentional. Make decisions intentional, to take decisions intentional, making decisions intentional. It creates a new world to mind a shift, intentionality, perceptuality, conceptuality. We are choosing to shift our mind to best for the world, best for our world. Make decisions intentional, to take decisions intentional, making decisions intentional. Make decisions intentional, to take decisions intentional, making decisions intentional.
Hello everyone and welcome to Best for the World podcast. I'm Monica and this is
Michael, Captain Future.
And I'm Stella Nordahl, and together we will host this weekend with 48 hours of live broadcast. That will be fantastic, I guess. So this is the 5th year that we're doing this, and you've been here every year.
Every year, yeah.
Please tell us a little bit about what is this concept about and what is your relation to it?
Yeah, I'll start. The concept is that there are so many people who want to be best in the world. There's many competitions that celebrate winners, or perhaps only one winner in a field of thousands or millions of people. But that's not really what life is about. It's being best for the world, being best for yourself, being best for the planet, and all the people around you, your society, your family, your tribe, your communities, and everything like that. So that's what it's all about. And that's what we explore here, because we don't really have been trained into this. So we explore the subject, how do you become or be best for the world?
Yeah, and we have been striving in the previous paradigm to win over others, to be best in the world. And if you think about the change in your life, Monica, for instance, when did you realize that it was time for something else?
I think it was when I got COVID in 2020 that I realized that I should start my own business and taking my life forward instead of just being here. I wanted to go forward. I think
that's very interesting, because we started out when COVID came, and this was even if we want to be proactive, we were almost reactive, because we thought that worrying as much as everyone did at that point isn't good for people. And the interesting thing in 2020 was also that the whole world was in sync. And then we have been hovering this theme of Best for the World. And this year's theme, I think it's quite interesting. It's choose wisely.
Yeah. It's interesting, I think.
Did you choose when you started your own business? Did you choose, or were you pressed into something?
I think someone else chose for me, and a year ago I think I've been choosing myself what direction I want to be in. I think it's important that when you start be with someone or work with someone that you have the same vision of life, and if you don't have the same vision, it's hard to make choices. So now I think I'm choose by myself.
Choose wisely. What does that mean to you?
So many things, like choosing wisely is first, of course, exploring what is wisdom. And secondly, like the choosing part, how do I make choices? There's talk about there's no free will, and people who say that, even scientists and big idea people said that there is no free will. We are all, but they define it as something detached from the universe, like it's a random choice, not that resides in you. But that's not how I see free will and choosing. I see choosing is, of course, you are part of the universe and yourself, and all the things that came before. in this moment gives you the moment now to choose. And choosing wisdom in that is of course always send yourself on a journey to explore what wisdom is. And we really don't know what it is. We're going to start up later tonight with a Glassbead game. It's an exercise in generative dialogue and collective sensating and meaning making, where we're going to explore choosing wisely further. And after that, we will perhaps set the tone for the weekend. What is choosing wisely? We're going to explore that together with you, of course. You're welcome to join in on live sessions and Zoom sessions as they show up on the weekend, or just listen to the broadcast and interact with you in any way you can to explore these questions together.
And it's an open invitation also to be part of the concepts, or even host the concept by yourself. There are still some gaps in the schedule, and that is on purpose, because we know that to be able to co-create, you can invite people to it. But there has to be some kind of framework, and the framework now is that if you want to host a concept, just please contact us, and we schedule you for one of the spots. And there are a lot of different concepts. Have you dug into what kind of concepts you're hosting? Some of them.
Yeah.
You're hosting them both in English and in Swedish and so on. And if you want to host a concept, you can do that in English to reach the whole world, but you can also do it in your native language. That's new for this year, actually. So can you tell us a little about the concept that you're hosting?
Yeah, at 7 tonight, after this intro, I will be talking to Eleanor Thelander, and she's been writing a book. And the book is about choose wisely, and how to make your life the way you want to live it, and in a very practical way. And the last side of the book is a QR code that you can scan, and then you come to an app, and there is educations like reflections and mind games, and how to use the book to create the way you want to live, and it's very, very exciting, I think. And I think it's like you said. Yeah, I've heard you in educational setting, when you were asked why you call yourself Captain Future, and you answered wisely. You said you can be on the spaceship and just flow away, and the spaceship can go everywhere, or you can sit in the front seat and be the captain of the spaceship and make the direction. And I think that's some kind of summon the whole weekend, and the concept that I host this weekend, that be the captain of your own life, I think.
And Michael, you're also hosting some concepts?
Yeah, I will be hosting the Glassbead Games at 8. It's going to be here in the studio, but we're going to stream some of it. But and I'm also going to host an online version on Zoom if you want to join in. We will take one of the open slots and invite people for that when we see when I start filling up. So we haven't decided on the exact time, but maybe tomorrow and/or Sunday, depending on how many open slots we have left. And I also will talking to Sten, a double session tomorrow at 6 and 7 before half hour about leadership.
Central European time, we should add.
Yeah, Central European time. Okay. So we are still on winter time here, but in the US you're on summertime. So this is 2 or 3 confusing weeks for many people who are on summertime already. But we will talk about leadership and choosing wisely. So we will see what that takes us. So it's going to be very interesting. Me and Sten did a great talk last year about identity and being a web navigator and weaver.
And you can also, we will have different setups. This is one of the setups we have there in the studio. We also have a podcast studio, and we also have possibilities to join in Zoom, both as a guest in one of the concepts, and of course, if you want to host a concept in Zoom, we will stream it for you in the Best for the World broadcast platform. And you and I, Monica, we're going to host a show together
Yeah.
Tomorrow morning, Saturday Swedish time, 9 o'clock in the morning here, we're going to host the Radio Intentional Decision, and Radio Intentional Decision has like a pod series called Global Consciousness, and we're talking about energy systems, and we have a guest here.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Nico.
Nico Dolowski. So we're looking forward to that,
Yeah.
and very nice to host a show together.
Yeah.
Mm,
It's the first time, you and I. Good.
That will be great. Yeah, and in Radio Intentional Decisions, we have been like 5 or 6 hosts during the years, and so it will be a new collaboration here and co-creation, of course. And you also have invited a lot of people here. Couldn't you tell us a little bit
Yeah.
about that, Monica?
I have. We are going to talk to Daniel Monsen and Marcel Rotia Nilsson, and tomorrow at 11 Swedish time. Daniel, he's an architect, but he also says he's a futurist and a speaker. He talks about how to design the society. He thinks that the society is used by everyone, but it's very few people that create the environment in the society. And Marcel, he's a machine learning engineer, and he creates AI concepts for everything, really. And he talks about how to design it so you can put in the fact yourself. So instead of being afraid of AI, you have to embrace it. And they're talking tomorrow, and I think that will be a nice, a really nice concept. And I will also talk to, not I will talk to, they will talk by themselves, hosted by Inga Persson. She and her siblings were raised in a very big farm with pigs, and they were a bit annoyed that people said if you have a big farm and many pigs, they aren't happy. And she thinks they were happy, and we loved our pigs, and we can make a big farm and make it good in a good way. And they wrote a book about their childhood and about how they grew up. The Rapsenblomma. I really don't know the word raps in English.
It's probably not the same.
No, it's a yellow flowers,
Yeah.
and in Scania there is all of it in the
sounds really
in
nice.
the springtime, and it's wonderful.
Yeah.
And the thing is that when you were talking, we're actually one of the guests in the next show coming in here. So there's Elena Tolander went in here. So during this weekend there will be a lot of people coming in and out, and every hour there's a new concept starting out and so on. And I'm also thinking a little bit about global consciousness concerning how we engage with people. And I think COVID taught us a lot about on how we can engage. No matter where you are in the world or when you are. So, I mean, morning here will be night somewhere else, and to connect that during 48 hours. First time we actually did 4 days and 4 nights. That's
around the clock.
It's about crazy. It's a crazy.
Yeah, that was a little bit too much maybe. But now we have been in this concept for the last 4 years, and I believe it's a fantastic thing. We were actually during those 2 days there will be an Earth Hour in different places in the world, and this year in Sweden we have it on Saturday night.
Saturday night, yeah.
So we will host a show just before, half an hour before Earth Hour starts, and if you're in Sweden and want to connect during that half an hour before Earth Hour, we can connect you with Zoom, and we can have a chit chat together, and then we will close down everything and no stream during Earth Hour. That's Mother Earth's hour. So I think that it's a very beautiful thing. I've actually had a check-in this week with some of the students that I have in a vocational education, and then how do you celebrate Earth Hour? Do you?
Did they?
Do they? Yeah, they did. Some of them did it when they were kids. I don't know exactly when the concept of Earth Hour was presented, but I think it must be at least 15 years or something.
Is it?
Yeah,
That
at least.
At least, yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
Yes. So when my kids were small, we all started out with it, and then there was some years where we did it with the family, and the last 5 in this concept.
Yeah.
So that's a very beautiful thing, actually, to breathe in and breathe out, and just let things be for an hour and reflect.
In my hometown, Ängelholm, we went to the city, and the scouting participant, they made creations of candles in town, and it's very beautiful, really, and a way to be together in the Earth Hour.
Yeah, we also celebrated when my kids were small. We lit candles and we played board games or in candlelight. Yeah.
And tomorrow we will have candlelight again, but at that point we will see that everyone gets some food, because this is a hard, tough scheme during this 40 hours broadcast with the people coming in and out and so on. So that will be an hour for just see each other and feel each other and
Be present.
Be present and have some food. But there will also be a different concept here where you can engage. You were talking a little bit about Glassbead Games. Couldn't you just give us a short hint of what it is, if someone wants to join and so on? What is it all about?
Yeah, so it was Lawrence in England, and then Jen and Sandal and another couple of people. They started prototyping an exercise they called Glassbead Games. It's after Hermann Hesse's book that he won the Nobel Prize for. But in that book, I haven't read myself, they never describe what the game is, but it's like artists and thinkers and scientists coming together all over the world to a land called Castilla, and there they engage in an activity called the Glassbead Games that makes them more creative and wise in essence. And he started thinking, what could a real one like that look like? So they started prototyping one. And I first came in contact with it exactly 4 years ago when they, during COVID, took it to Zoom, because I've been doing it in person before. And it fitted perfectly for doing in a digital form or in Zoom. You divide yourself in groups of 2, 3, 4, or 5 people. So if you're just 4 people on a Zoom call, you do it together. But if you're more than 5, you divide people into breakout rooms. And you choose a subject that we call a bead from the Glassbead, and you take turns talking about it. We have prototyped lots of different formats, but we have landed on like 1 minute each, and you go around in a circle about 5 times usually, and you decide on talking order, and you talk 1 minute each in a circle, 5 rounds on the subject. And in that, there are 2 simple rules. When it's your turn to speak, you shouldn't try not to use any personal pronouns like me, I think, I've done that, and things like that, and you did that. And you try to talk in third person, or we as a planet or something like that, so to disconnect yourself from the ego of owning the thoughts that came up, because then you don't have to stand for what you're saying, and then you can experiment with what you're saying. And the other rule is when you're not speaking, you're supposed to listen actively, so you don't sit to think about what you're going to say next. So we recommend that some people use pen and paper to write down words or quotes that come up during conversation, so you can look at that when it's your turn to speak, to see, oh, I want to pick up on this way in the concept and stuff like that. And it's surprisingly, almost every time we put people in what we call the 4th level of listening, generative dialogue, when we do this. And I've tried a lot of Dialogos exercises on Zoom and in person for the last 12 years. And for me, there's no one even close to getting people into the 4th level of listening every time. Like, that's the ideal state of many of the exercises, but it doesn't show up all the time.
That's super interesting. I mean, Art of Hosting is a movement that are looking for that kind of, and they have found, for instance, open space technology and so on. So
you often go into level 2 or 3 there, but seldom 4.
Yeah. So that's super interesting. So if you want to join, please let us know. And you're hosting one in in a physical form here, with that we're going to broadcast of some of it, at least during the discussions and so on, and the dialogues. And you're also hosting one after the Best for the World broadcast.
Yeah, nowadays we do it online on Zoom every Sunday, 9 p.m. Central European time, or 8 p.m. UK time. And it's me and Eric who use the Zoom room that is hosted by Emergent Comments. And we've been having this time slot for the last 2 years. So we keep on doing it every Sunday. You're welcome to show up. We have a Facebook group and Discord and a Signal group if you want to join in. But it's the same link every Sunday. But just contact me and you'll find it there.
Yeah. So
And the thing is, everyone is taken by the first time. But I've been doing it like 1 or 2 times per week for 4 years now, and it has totally changed me. I'm so much easier to see connections and how things are connected after this exercise.
And you're also hosting, of course, Captain Future Show.
Captain Future Show, yeah.
Yeah.
So not decided yet, but I will use some of the open last time slots and talk about anything. And if I can do it on Zoom, you're welcome to just say, contact me, and we do it together on Zoom.
Yeah, we will arrange with that. So you're using the studio, and we connect people via Zoom. Yeah. So that is definitely happening. And so I'm also thinking here, because those are the concepts that we have in the schedule and the tableau, and you can find everything on bestfather.world. So if you're right now on YouTube on the stream, if you go to bestfather.world, there is also a page where you can dive into each concept and so on. And after each stream, we will also post the videos there. And what I'm thinking of here is that those are the dialogues that are so-called planned. But what I'm also looking forward to is all of the dialogues and the conversations in between. During one concept, there is always people preparing for the next and so on. So I'm really looking forward to those conversations. And of course, you have to be here physically in Lomma in Sweden, in southern parts of Sweden, to be able to join that conversations. But if you are close and you want to join,
please come.
Yeah, please come.
Like any party, the best conversations is always in the kitchen.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. With by the coffee machine. So, and okay, so and we're also sitting here with a lot of colors around us. We have these beautiful flowers that are really interesting itself, because it's about the pH in the soil here, giving those different colors depending on what is the pH. And we also have something in Swedish, we call it påskris. So it's like a lot of colors here, and we have those flags, and then we have those colors over here that is also present on all of the words besides you. That's right. So those are some of the words from the Sustainable Development Goals. So now we're writing 2024. They were created in 2015. And we're heading for 2030 and beyond, I hope. So sustainability is a word that has been used a lot, and it is used. So now people are thinking of sustainability. Is that what we want? For instance, if you go into a relation, do you denominate that the relation sustainable? So
try saying that to your spouse. We have a sustainable relationship.
So we have to have something, I guess, something more life affirming with the relationship to each other and to the earth. So we have the fantastic colors of the Sustainable Development Goals, and also into some kind of a ongoing. I mean, this is something that we can never stop, and we will never reach a goal. So the name goal is maybe, at least the concept of goals maybe have to be changed. Maybe we should see it more as principles. And actually, the 17 Sustainable Development Goals, they come down to 169 goals or principles, so to speak. How can we find a way forward together? That is in the direction of best for the world. So this is also why we have used this kind of a, you say the spiral here, something that is going on on as for instance, as the spring turns into summer and the summer turns into autumn and into winter, but you're never at the same spot next year.
No,
So
yeah.
there is like an ongoing spiral of consciousness growing or expanding. So that is hopefully something that we can come back to during this week. And how can we put all those thoughts and dialogues and the conversations into practice? How can we internalize it, or so to speak, in our day-to-day lives and organizations and practices and so on? But right now there is, I was, earlier today I was into a fantastic presentation about regenerative agriculture. So how can we find principles where you turn the earth into soil that is living and
Flourishing.
flourishing. Yeah. I mean, the nature itself had this capacity. So this is the Best for the World broadcast weekend. So how are you going to manage it? What do you say, Monica? What is your plan?
What's my plan is, it's I just go on. That's my plan. That's my plan. I can manage that. No, I think I to be with people that have the same vision as I give me very much energy, really. And I will host and be participating in a lot of these concepts, and that's a thing too. But I looking forward to just hang and talk to the people who's here and nice discussions about choose wisely.
So this is the first. We also always start with a announcement or some kind of a check-in or whatever you call it. And very soon you will be hosting the first real broadcast here. And of course we're going to have some space in between so we can arrange that we can really start the time in right time and so on. And later on you're hosting the Gospel Games and so on, and then we're moving forward. So please join us again, bestforthe.world, to read about the concepts. And also there is, if you scroll down on that page, there is an invitation to co-creations where you find everything. And please contact us, of course. And anything else you want to say before we end this first crispy dialogue?
Yeah, I'm really excited about going into this creative flow state that I go in when I do things like that, and I like the improvise aspect of many of the sessions we've done previously, and I'm looking forward to one showing up this year as well. So like the phrase from Life of Brian, he's making it up as he goes along.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So that's how it works.
Yeah.
Anything else, Monica?
No, I'm just eager to get my first guest ready.
Yeah. And everyone following us right now, please join us in the Best for the World broadcast. So see you soon again. Right. Take care. Bye.
Move into it.
We are creating the world we're now living in. We are competing in. We are repeating in. We are believing in. It's time for us to shift our mind from best in the world to best for the world. Make decisions intentional, to take decisions intentional, making decisions intentional. Make decisions intentional, to take decisions intentional, making decisions intentional. It creates a new world to mind a shift, intentionality, perceptuality, conceptuality. We are choosing to shift our mind to best for the world, best for our world. Make decisions intentional, to take decisions intentional, Making decisions intentional. Make decisions intentional. To take decisions intentional. Making decisions intentional.